About 45 minutes ago, photojournalist Brian Willey and everybody else here inside Ringo's felt a minor aftershock, and frankly, they have been feeling them throughout the day. Adele, we talk about the vegetation and how dry it is, especially the trees, but we're also dealing with dry grass, and here's a good look at what we're dealing with up there, and of course, it is causing that fire to race through the mountains.
9 News reporter Kevin Torres has been at the school this afternoon, and we are joined by Kevin now. Hey, Kevin.
Hey, Adele, the latest here is that there are about 25 to 40 students still inside Stony Creek Elementary School right now. We're told the majority of them are inside the library. There are about 6 detectives in there interviewing them, and one of those students who was interviewed is here with me now. You were about 10 feet away from the gunman when he pulled the trigger. Tell me in detail what went through your mind and what you saw. Well, you know, Kathy, some say that they've already seen 5-foot snowbanks. Now, it's no surprise here. I'm one of the shortest guys in the newsroom, only about 5'6", so I needed a ladder to explain this to you. By the end of the week, folks in Crested Butte and other mountain towns at high elevation could see 6 feet of snow. Now, that is a conservative estimate. In fact, we wanted to show you in the front of our live truck just how much of it has come down, maybe about a ½ an inch in the last hour or so, but this is how much of it we're seeing right here. It is so slushy on the ground that our own photojournalist, my buddy Kevin Sullivan, who's manning the camera right now, slipped and actually fell. So watch yourself. And Kevin, are you doing fine? Just nod if you're doing fine. He's doing fine. But the folks who just showed up here a little while ago, they're tree professionals, say that the inside of it appeared to be rotting. So this baby just kind of slammed over into this bed and breakfast house, which is called the Ogden House. A lot of the students were around when this happened, but they say that it was sort of like a hostage situation in a sense, where campus police cleared this entire area. In fact, students had to take pictures from their windows. Well, Mark, we posed a question to those who are unemployed, and for those who need a job, we wanted to know one thing. If you could tell the president anything, what would it be?
This is the land of opportunity.
At the height of rush hour, when thousands of people are heading home from the office, you'll still find plenty of folks searching.
It's difficult.
And wishing for work.
Dear Mr. President, my name is Joel Marlowe, and I need a job today.
My name is James Coleman, and please look out for me, Obama, because I need a job. I'm out here struggling.
I'm willing to work, just need to work.
Desperation is a word that's tossed around.
Mr. President, my name is Matthew Turner.
But for many, it's the hand they're dealt with.
I'm willing to do anything.
If they could write their stories.
I've been unemployed for about 3.5 years.
I've been unemployed probably about 2 years now.
And read them to the president.
What a beautiful day.
They would hear him out first.
It's time to build an economy that creates good middle-class jobs in this country.
And then they would say this.
I think he can do more. But I think he's on the borderline right now, but we need some more help out here.
I don't really follow politics much, but I heard that you're trying to bring jobs back.
They're hoping his actions speak louder than his words.
It's time to build an economy that honors the values of hard work and responsibility.
I would really love a job that would be available to someone like me.
And more importantly, they're hoping for a second chance.
It's time to build an economy that lasts. In Denver, that starts now.
Thank you, Mr. President.
And what a difference 2 days can make.
I'm telling you, Monday night, we were soaking it in. It was warm. It was beautiful. Tonight, it's just like a world away.
Yes, it does feel like a world away in many ways.
In fact, we had to send 9 News reporter Kevin Torres back in time to file this report.
Hey, we've had worse than this. This is easy. This is just the first one.
So, how about that big switchover?
Big deal.
Almost seems shocking.
Yeah, I'm Colorado and I was born and raised here.
Well, unless you're used to this sort of thing, I guess it is pretty normal.
Well, you go 74 one day and 16 tomorrow. Yeah, no, it's Colorado.
Maybe it seems different when you were content with those warm temps that are only 48 hours old.
It almost makes you wish you could travel back in time. To how about 2 days ago when it was nearly 80 degrees? Gotta rub it in. Sure do, but that's the joy of Colorado weather. One day it's sunny, and the next day it's freezing. Ain't that the truth?
Truth be told, Monday seems like a distant memory now. Those sunny skies, people relaxing on the lake, so long. Because as of this evening, everything is coated in snow.
It's sweat.
But before we return to the present, let's go a little farther back into the past to, let's say June.
With temperatures spiking today, we could hit close to 100 degrees in the afternoon.
When the roads were so warm,
It's hot.
all you could think about was complaining about how hot it was.
With the heat coming down, yeah, it makes for a silly situation, you know what I mean?
Silly thing is, we'll start complaining again, but this time about how cold it is. and how we can't wait for the spring and summer to return.
Yeah, I'm ready for the sun to shine again.
If you happen to be one of those folks, keep in mind this is only the beginning, and chances are it's going to get a whole lot worse.
I wouldn't say that, but...
No buts, it will. After all, this is Colorado. And this is Kevin Torres, 9 News.
This is just so awesome.
All right, let's get the family together.
Okay, hang on just a second.
Did you talk to Tim?
That's Tim.
Good, good. How about Boots?
Boots should be here.
Excellent. What about the other brothers and sisters? There's 9 of you, right?
2 of them live out of state and they're not here.
Okay, no worries. Still a good crowd. You excited?
Will he be coming up?
How excited?
Just a little.
Thought so.
This is so awesome, awesome, awesome.
Yes, it is. Imagine waiting for your loved one to come home just like those miners' families did. It's something special.
A miracle has happened. Those guys have been under there for so stinking long, and they're coming up. And my brother helped do that.
It's probably been a while since Julie has been this excited about seeing her brother.
His approach is coming. There he is.
But let's hold that excitement back for just a couple more seconds, okay?
Okay.
Thanks, Julie. Anyways, Jeff's family stood in line side by side.
And you need a medium?
Wearing matching shirts, waiting.
Can we see him? Can we see him?
She couldn't hold it back. Waiting for Jeff's arrival.
Chile. We got him out in Chile.
And when he finally came, well, this pretty much sums it up.
You're so awesome, buddy. You are so awesome.
Among the many who couldn't pull their eyes off Jeff was Jeff's son Dylan,
Wherever there's problems, he goes.
who calls his dad a hero.
No, we're not. We just do our job every day. The real hero, as I've said before, there was one gentleman in that mine that took control, and for 14 days had 33 guys live on 1 can of tuna fish a day.
Jeff also thinks his colleagues are heroes. The other 3 men from Colorado who helped drill that hole and ultimately helped save those miners.
I was glad to be able to get those guys home to their families.
That's what meant the most to this group, family. Whether it was their own or the miners, it's all about family.
It was absolutely a fairy tale come true because it actually worked out.
Christopher Phillips died over the weekend in a 2-car crash on Highway 94 east of Ellicott near Colorado Springs. When an oncoming driver veered in front of his car, the State Patrol believes Phillips swerved to save his girlfriend, who was sitting in the passenger seat. 9 News reporter Kevin Torres is in the Springs tonight. And Kevin, aside from the State Patrol, Phillips' girlfriend tells you she knows he was trying to save her.
Mark, she says that's just who Chris was, the sort of guy who put someone else's needs before his own. This kind of story never comes with a happy ending, but the chapters leading up to it are filled with so many wonderful memories.
He was a lovely man. He really was.
The final chapter of Christopher Phillips' story ended the way it started.
He put everybody before him.
And if you turn the pages back just a year, you would have met a man who fell in love with a woman who became his best friend.
He and I met at a kind of a tough time in my life, and I, through his friendship, felt safe.
It was his love and his family he cherished most.
They're so close and so warm.
At the end of last week, Christopher, Deb, and his son Shane traveled to Oklahoma to visit Chris's father, who had suffered a stroke.
He felt at peace with where things were.
On the way back to Colorado, the 3 drove quietly in Chris's car, not realizing what was up ahead.
We were happy. Everybody was happy.
Deb remembers the loud noise, and then this.
I felt the blood on my face, and I looked over, and his eyes weren't open, and I reached over and I touched his face, and I put my finger on his lips, and I didn't feel him breathing.
Stunned by what had just happened, she stumbled from the vehicle.
I was just so overwhelmed with him being gone that I fell down in the ditch, and then there were people all around me.
At that point, Chris's son had been rushed to the hospital. Deborah followed and stood by his bedside.
He just said, "Come here." And I leaned down real close to his lips with my ear, and he just whispered, "I love you, and I'm sorry." And I realized that was such a beautiful thing to do.
Shane believed what his father believed, to put someone else's needs before your own.
One of his favorite lines was, "If your friends are friends of love, then your friends are friends of mine." That was Chris.
Colorado State Patrol says the other driver should have not veered into the lane. However, this does not appear to be an intentional crash. They say that drugs and alcohol were not a factor as well. As for that driver, he will likely be ticketed. Mark, most of the family, Chris's family, knows about the crash and his death. Aside from his father who suffered the stroke, the doctor said it's probably not a good idea to tell him just yet. You know, even though we are at the halfway point right now, there are still a lot of projects that are about to start right now, including that mess known as I-25 and Santa Fe. So, tried to find a word to describe people's feelings about this construction, and I think I found one in the dictionary today.
I think it's in everybody's way.
Hate is a strong word, a word most of us don't use too often.
I think it's creating congestion.
But what other word comes to mind when dealing with construction-created traffic? Honk if you hate construction! None other than the H word. Do you hate construction, sir? If frustration could be measured in honks. There we go. That's a person who absolutely hates construction. Then this group's feelings would be as messy as the road they're driving on. People are going by so slow right now, and all they want to do is just honk. See?
It is annoying, and it's causing congestion on all sorts of routes that you wouldn't normally see congestion.
Carol Fleming is one of those drivers who lost their cool somewhere around Slow Boulevard and Annoying Avenue.
Yeah, it's a bad time for all the construction.
If you think this is bad, just wait, because some spots are about to get a whole lot worse.
It is. You know, what's difficult in Colorado is you have such a short construction season.
CDOT employees get just as frustrated as the rest of us, but they know there's only a few good months to get the work done.
And so we really cram it in from May to September.
In the metro area, there are a total of 30 projects. Statewide, about 150.
In the metro area where congestion's bad, we do try to schedule much of our work in the off-peak hours. We work a lot of overnights.
Do you hate construction? No? She loves construction. Aside from the select few who can tolerate this sort of stuff. Do you hate construction? You're going so slow. You don't hate it? Well, come on, you hate it. CDOT is asking we be patient and to remember we're only halfway through the construction season.
I hope it finishes very quickly.
You know, if there is any good news, it is that you won't have to deal with that tomorrow being a holiday. Of course, a lot of those construction folks have the day off. Back to Tuesday, though. Oh, well, that's a different story. You're going to be dealing with those slight delays. However, if you go to 9news.com, click on that traffic button, it'll give you all the good, fast routes to go around all this stuff. Cheryl, somewhere in the CDOT building, there is an employee in a small office who is building honk if you hate Kevin Torres signs tonight.
I know you are the most patient guy I know, so
Revenge.
I don't think you.
You obviously don't know me too well. Oh, sure.
Kevin Torres, thanks a lot.
Oh, that's a lot of paint.
There are moments in our lives when the simple things
Paintbrush just for you.
tend to cover up the difficult ones.
Look at my hands. That's not funny. That's my girl.
We search for ways to create life,
You do the most beautiful paintings.
even when life is fading away.
We didn't want to miss out on 1 second of her life.
It was only a few months ago when Delaney Wadsworth was diagnosed with a rare brain tumor.
3 months ago, it was only about the size of a golf ball.
Since then, it has grown to the size of a grapefruit.
It decides to start growing. It's fast.
It's like we're not ready yet. You know, everything's happening too fast.
Delaney's parents know they're running a race they cannot win.
We don't know how to say goodbye.
All they can do is enjoy the moments along the way.
We took her to do as much stuff as we knew how to do.
They traveled, visited family, bought her whatever she wanted.
She wanted to have some farm animals and stuff, so we got her some goats and a lamb.
They even gave her a birthday 1 month in advance, knowing she probably wouldn't live to see the actual date.
I just cried. And I still cry. Because I'm really going to miss her. You're going to miss your children. They're not supposed to go before you.
If there is any comfort for Delaney's parents, it's knowing their daughter has accepted and welcomed her fate.
And she says, "Oh, Mommy, I'm so excited I'm dying." I said, "Baby, who told you that?" She said, "God told me."
It's only a matter of days, weeks at best, before Delaney's sun begins to set.
I can't imagine life without her.
As she prepares to leave our world, she has one last wish.
Her dying wish would be for everyone to just give each other a hug.
For all of us to bring a little color into our lives.
And to just let things go.
In Windsor, this is Kevin Torres, 9 News.